At a wedding we attended, my spouse danced with her male best friend all evening, completely disregarding me. When someone inquired if she was married, she replied, "Sort of, but it doesn't matter when he's dull." They chuckled. I stood by observing. The next morning she woke up alone. My marriage ended that Saturday night. No shouting, no drama, no shattered dishes. It ended with her laugh, a sharp, insincere sound in a lavish hotel ballroom that revealed everything I needed to know. Let's rewind. I'm Mark. My wife, ex-wife now, I suppose, is Sophia. We were married for 4 years. On the outside, everything seemed perfect. Nice home, fancy cars, the works. But beneath the surface, the foundation was crumbling. I'd sensed it for about a year. I'm a perceptive guy. I pick up on things, and what I picked up on was Ethan, her brother-like best friend. Early on, I tried to be the supportive, trusting spouse, convincing myself their past was just that, past. But over the last year, something shifted in her. Her sense of entitlement grew, while her respect for me shrank in equal measure. The warning signs went from subtle hints to glaring red flags waving in my face. It was the endless texting, her phone tilted away whenever he messaged. It was how she'd mention him constantly, comparing my decisions to what Ethan would have done. The moment I knew I had to plan my exit was 8 months ago. We were organizing a trip for our anniversary. I'd spent weeks researching a serene mountain cabin, the kind of quiet retreat we once both loved. When I showed her the photos, she seemed unimpressed. The next day, she presented a new idea. Ethan thought we should hit a trendy coastal resort instead. It wasn't a suggestion, it was a decision she'd already made with him. My plans were dismissed. We went to the resort. I spent 4 days watching her send him pictures of the scenery. That's when I realized I wasn't being a trusting husband. I was a placeholder, a provider, the stable backdrop for the thrilling life she was chasing with others. So I stopped being a pushover, but I did it quietly. I'm not one for dramatic outbursts, that's her domain. I'm a strategist. I began preparing. My first step was a call to a lawyer, a sharp one recommended by a friend. In a 90-minute meeting, I learned my rights and obligations. The house was in my name, purchased before I met her, a critical detail. He guided me on safeguarding my other assets. The next day, I started redirecting my finances. I opened new accounts at a different bank, funneling most of my income there, leaving just enough in our joint accounts to maintain appearances. I was constructing an escape route step by step. I knew I'd need it, I just didn't know when. The wedding last Saturday was the breaking point. It was for her college friend, a grand, extravagant affair. Sophia was in her element. She loves attention, a stage. She'd bought a new dress, casually noting it was pricey and charged to our shared card. She spent the night glued to Ethan's side, laughing loudly, making a spectacle on the dance floor. She barely acknowledged me, and I let her. I wasn't there to compete for her focus. I was there to watch, to collect the final evidence I needed. I sensed the night would be pivotal. Around 10 p.m., I was by the bar, chatting with the groom's uncle. Sophia was with Ethan and some strangers. I overheard a woman notice her wedding ring and ask if she and Ethan were married. Instead of correcting her and pointing to me 20 feet away, Sophia played it up. She let out a sharp, theatrical laugh and said, "Oh, I'm married, but not to Ethan, sadly." Then, leaning in with a smirk, she added, "It's not real, though. It doesn't count when he's so dull." The group laughed, a polite but mocking sound, that was it. No rage, no emotional outburst, just a calm, icy certainty. This wasn't a marriage, it was a farce, and I was the joke. I didn't say a word. I gave her a small nod from across the room, when she likely thought was me being attentive. It wasn't. It was a nod of finality, a silent message received. I turned, left the ballroom without a backward glance, and headed to our hotel room. The celebration was over. My marriage was over. It was time to act. Update 1. In the hotel room, I removed my wedding ring and placed it on the dresser, staring at it briefly. It felt like shedding a disguise. Then I packed my bag, every move deliberate and composed. I wasn't driven by emotion. I was following a plan I'd rehearsed mentally for months. I was a man executing a strategy. I checked out, got my car, and drove home. No radio, just silence. The 40-minute drive was the most serene I'd felt in ages. The burden of pretending, of enduring constant, subtle disrespect was gone. I arrived home around 11:30 p.m., my house. First, I secured the property. I went to the smart home panel in the kitchen, accessed her profile, and with 2 clicks deleted it. Her access code was erased, her key fob disabled. I changed the garage entry code manually. In 5 minutes, she was a stranger to my home, locked out. Next, I cut off the finances. I logged into our joint account, the one I kept funded for her car, shopping, and lunches with friends. It had a few thousand left. I transferred it all to my personal account. Then I accessed my main credit card, where she had a supplementary card for her spending. Recent charges included the wedding dress, a spa day with Ethan's sister, and luggage for a planned girls' trip. I reported her card as stolen, freezing it instantly. The financial lifeline was severed. Then came the tough part, her belongings. I had a stack of new moving boxes in the garage bought for this moment. For 3 hours, I methodically cleared her presence from my home. I wasn't angry or sad, just detached, like a caretaker removing traces of someone who'd moved on. I packed her closet, her bathroom items, her office space, every dress, shoe, and bottle of luxury product. I sealed each box and stacked them neatly in the garage. The house felt like mine again, quiet, orderly. At 3 a.m., I sent my lawyer a 2-word email, "Start it." Then I went to bed and slept better than I had in a year. The calls began the next morning. First, a carefree one from the hotel. She thought I'd gone to work. An hour later, an irritated one. Her card was declined for her and Ethan's room service breakfast. Another hour, pure panic. She was on the porch, her key useless. I answered that one. "Mark, what's happening? I'm locked out," she yelled. "I know," I said, voice steady. "What do you mean? This isn't funny. Let me in." "No," I replied. "I heard you last night, Sophia. I heard you say our marriage doesn't count because I'm dull, so I'm making your life more exciting. You're free now, no dull husband, no dull house." She denied it, called it a joke, said I'd misunderstood. It didn't matter. "It's over," I said. "Your things are in 42 boxes in the garage. A moving company will take them to storage tomorrow. I've paid for 3 months. I'll send you the details. The account is empty, the card is canceled, and divorce papers will be served Monday. We're done." I heard Ethan in the background insisting I was bluffing, being dramatic. He'd driven her home, her hero. "You can't do this," she sobbed. "I already have," I said. "Enjoy your new life." I hung up, blocked their numbers, and phase 1 was complete. Update 2, they didn't take it quietly. People like Sophia and Ethan don't accept consequences gracefully. They need to play the victim. For hours, they lingered. My cameras caught them testing the doors, Ethan puffing up for the camera, even trying to ram the door before realizing it was solid oak, not a movie prop. The next day, when the movers arrived, they watched from Ethan's car across the street. I went out to check the mail and spent 20 minutes tending my garden, ignoring them entirely. My indifference seemed to enrage them more than any argument would have. When direct tactics failed, they switched to a smear campaign, Sophia's specialty. Within a day, rumors spread. I was the controlling, jealous husband who snapped at the wedding, imagined things, and threw her out in a rage. Some believed it. The first blow came from Sophia's mom, leaving a tearful voicemail about how ashamed she was of me, how Sophia was devastated, and how I needed to fix my mess. I saved it but didn't respond. Then came texts from Sophia's friends, calling me cruel, accusing me of abuse, vowing to expose me. They wanted to isolate me, not realizing I'd already cut them off. I needed evidence, undeniable proof. A wedding is public, and in 2025, everything's recorded. I avoided the official videographer and targeted the bride's cousin, Lily, who'd been filming all night for her social media. I messaged her saying I was making a keepsake for the couple and wanted her videos. She sent a folder of clips. After an hour, I found it, a video of dancers, but in the background, clear as day, was Sophia's conversation at the bar, her fake laugh, her voice saying, "It's not real, though. It doesn't count when he's so dull." It was my trump card. I clipped the 10-second segment. I didn't plan to blast it online. That wasn't my style. My approach was precise. I sent a group text to a select list. The bride and groom, Sophia's parents, her sister, and Ethan's long-term girlfriend, Claire, whose number I had from a past event. The message was brief. "You've heard stories. I want the truth out. This clip from the wedding explains why my marriage is over. Listen to the audio." I attached the video, sent it, silenced my phone, and went for a walk. Final update. 6 months later, the divorce is done. My lawyer said it was one of the fastest he'd seen. A video of your wife publicly dismissing your marriage strips away her leverage. The clip didn't just end my marriage. It unraveled their entire world. The bride and groom were livid with Sophia for tainting their wedding and cut contact completely, even sending me a gracious apology. Sophia's parents, obsessed with appearances, were mortified by their daughter's crass behavior. I heard they confronted her with the video, and when she couldn't deny it, they cut her off emotionally and financially. Her lawyer, funded by them, was dropped. They told her to get a job and fend for herself. Ethan faced the worst fallout. Claire, his girlfriend, was furious. She didn't just leave him, she went public, posting the clip on social media, tagging them both, and writing a scathing post about their years of deceit. It went viral in our circle, obliterating their smear campaign against me. Claire's father, a well-connected businessman, made calls, and Ethan's sales career, built on reputation, collapsed. Sophia's life has imploded. She's broke, her parents barely speak to her, and her friends have vanished. Ethan, now a pariah, wants nothing to do with her. She's working as a server, living in a cramped apartment with roommates. The glamorous life she thought she deserved is gone. I sold the house for a fresh start and bought a sleek downtown condo with a killer view. It's my sanctuary, calm and honest. The real revenge wasn't evicting her. It was exposing the truth. Sophia and Ethan built their bond on lies and disrespect. I just held up a mirror and they couldn't face it. She called me dull. Maybe I am, but my life is steady, authentic, peaceful. Hers, the one she chose, is chaos. She woke up alone in that hotel room, but she'd been alone in our marriage for a long time. I just made it official.